A good late night, good early morning to all. Welcome to another tropical update from Cayman Hurricane Center. Now, again, folks, we are continuing to monitor the progress of Hurricane Ernesto as the hurricane moves now northeast over the southwest North Atlantic. Again, folks, the hurricane in question is also a bit stronger here tonight, folks. Ernesto now a Category 2 hurricane as it starts marching towards the British Overseas Territory of Bermuda and then onwards passing to the south and east of the Canadian Maritimes and out into the open Atlantic. The latest advisory on Ernesto here, folks, 27.1 north, 68.1 west, about 410 miles southwest of the British Overseas Territory of Bermuda. The winds are now 100 miles an hour. Again, this is now a Category 2 hurricane, and again, movement northeast at 14 miles per hour with a pressure of 968 millibars. Again, as noted before, a hurricane warning is issued for the island of Bermuda, as seen here in red there, folks. Again, interest elsewhere in this vicinity should also closely monitor the progress of Ernesto. Again, the Canadian Maritimes there should be keeping an eye on it. Although we are expecting that the core of that to remain offshore the Canadian Maritimes, system is expected to get massive. I will point that out here in just a moment. You could see why that would be a concern for the Canadian Maritimes as we go. Again, folks, this northeastward motion is to continue with then a turn towards northeast and east-northeast as we get into the end of the weekend and early part of next week. It is expected to make its arrival there in Bermuda on Saturday. We are expecting first tropical storm conditions potentially reaching in Bermuda by Friday evening. See here, Friday 8 p.m. is most likely time of arrival of tropical storm force winds for Bermuda. So that we will look out for. And then again, the Canadian Maritimes, we're looking at the outer edges of it, the potential of maybe some tropical storm gust there to the Canadian Maritimes. Again, most likely time of arrival for that would be the overnight hours on Sunday into Monday for the regions here, and then Monday in the day through Monday evening through up here, that we could see those gusts of storm conditions there. Again, for the system, further strengthening is expected, and this thing could be near major hurricane status on Friday. And this thing will be a very large size hurricane as it approaches Bermuda and moves through Bermuda on Saturday. And again, in an even larger cyclone potential there as it gets into the northwestern and northern Atlantic. In terms of impacts here, folks, we are expecting that of course, hurricane conditions, Bermuda with the storm conditions earlier there. Storm surge expected to produce significant coastal flooding there to Bermuda and areas of onshore winds. A surge will be accompanied by large and destructive waves. Speaking of, swells by Ernesto is currently affecting the British overseas territory of the Turks and Caicos Islands and the Bahamas, and that is going to be spreading across the eastern coast of the United States and towards the Atlantic Canada throughout the weekend into early week. And of course, it is continuing to build over the coastal regions of Bermuda as we speak. A rainfall, we're looking at 6 to 12 inches with maximum isolated amounts of 15 for Bermuda, and this will cause some considerable life-threatening flash floods. So yeah, folks, talking about the system again, and it's getting massive in size. Just pointing out here, folks, that we could see as we go forwards in time. Again, Bermuda located right up in here, and we could. Bermuda's right up in this vicinity here, and we could see that as we go forwards in time. Again, we note how big the system is. Again, the core passing near or over Bermuda. And we could see, again, this wide wind field just, near the U.S. coast there. We could see that as the system crosses by. And again, up into the Canadian Maritimes, we're looking at, again, a pretty large wind field getting up into there as we go forwards. And again, massive wave heights there. And in terms of the winds, again, we'll change that over and we could see the same there. The center passing near or over Bermuda. And again, the strongest of winds remaining offshore of the U.S. East Coast, but as we get into the Canadian Maritimes, we could see some of that, some of the stronger winds there spreading across the area there. So that is something we're going to have to watch closely as we go forwards here, folks. Again, at the moment, we do have some very sparse wind observations, nothing too much near the core. What we did have is that we did have some hurricane hunters flying in and finding those stronger winds there. So we'll do see that. The thing that we do also see is periodically we do see an eye popping out here in our system. At the moment, the eye is a bit covered at the moment, but we could definitely see that part of the eye is right up in here with this hurricane, strengthening Hurricane Ernesto here. You can see the vast moisture field associated with this system growing. We could see some of that streaming off, some of the frontal boundary that's helping to drag the system up north, streaming some of that moisture into Bermuda already. And we could see this on the radar imagery out of Bermuda, where all of that moisture is coming in. We could see the outer bands of the system already showing up here at the end of the radar loop here, folks. But again, some of that moisture is streaming off again from the frontal boundary, pulling the system up to the north. Just quickly before we do end off this update, just want to pass on that, again, please visit Mark Sudduth at HurricaneTrack. You can check out his YouTube stuff. He's currently in Bermuda at this point in time. He's going to be doing some stuff there, so do check out the stuff there from Mark Sudduth. He'll have those GoPro cam and weather sensors up across Bermuda. So do check out his stuff, and he's going to be there on the ground in Bermuda, and we'll be able to see very clearly what goes on in Bermuda as the system approaches. Again, folks, this is it for our Cayman Hurricane Center. We'll be back with another